Opinions Unqualified. Very happy to be here today, Sammy. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, mate. How are you doing?
Very good. I have to say, our guest today has gone to the top of my list very, very quickly.
He's, I think, is this the first guest that's brought in a gift?
Yeah, first one ever. And he's bought a bottle of wine, and I love wine. It's Monday, last week of school, which is last week of work, nearly Christmas. So in my opinion, best guest ever. Don't care. I'm happy to take calls from the other guests. And I will have you back on if you bring us gift. So I'm not without any further ado. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thanks, boys. Happy to be here.
Very happy to have you. Probably the most exciting thing that I saw when you first come in was you lying on the floor after a big night on Saturday because you're moving town. I've just got a quick question for the Sean turn. Sean Turn's here as well. Hey, Sean.
Hey, guys. How we doing?
Yeah. Have any of you guys ever fallen asleep, passed out with your hand on a dog?
Hey, careful here, boys.
No.
Not on a dog, no. Other things, yes.
How long?
We'll leave it at that.
How long were you sleeping with your hand on your pup?
I was talking about with Nikita. I was like, how long was it till I came to bed? And I was at least an hour or two. I was patting the dog, and then next thing you know, she's taken a picture and just gone to bed, left me on the floor.
So that's always a good night when you wake up on the floor.
I think the funniest photo I have of me passed out is like holding a melting ice cream in my hand as I'm just passed out. That was a pretty good one too.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. What is actually the weirdest photo you've ever had of you, Sam? Because that's the one of Chris is quite interesting.
I got a good photo with Chris actually. I think it might have been my 18th or it would have been my 21st if it was Chris. It would have been my 21st where Chris is all happy, good smile, and I'm there with my sailor's cap on, asleep on his shoulder.
Yeah, if I remember rightly, you just spent about, half an hour, 40 minutes yelling in my ear how you give me a bucket.
That was... Because I think that's when you're freshly over here, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't long after.
And we did have an incident also at your household where I did call out you and your future wife as well, saying that I'd give you buckets.
Yeah, that was the very first night I think I was in Perth.
Got to let him know early.
Yeah.
You know?
Sean turn. Photo. Weird one. Other than the ice cream one.
No, that's probably the best one I've got, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay.
I had one more classic. I was at a country music festival, and at some point it started circulating. There was a picture of me just sleeping on the bonnet of a car, just head back in the sun. And then, I just came across it a couple of weeks later. I was like, I remember that one.
I really
looks like a good nap.
I think I must have been around, because back when I was young, like, you had to have, like, actual cameras and get the film, like, developed and stuff. It was before the digital age, so I don't think there's many of me actually in those sorts of situations, thankfully.
How good was that, though? Because, like, you would never have had the problem of being like, oh, no, someone's going to, like, take a photo of this. Because, like, these days, like, when you go out, especially, you know, when you've had a larger night, and you just know that there was someone sitting there with a phone, recording this or taking pictures of this, and like, I don't know, it gets a bit annoying sometimes.
Yeah, I think technology has changed a lot of things, and it's particularly the way you can behave in public. I remember going on trips years and years ago with the boys, and it, like, honestly, you could do anything. It did not matter. Not that I ever did anything outlandish anyway, but you know, I had friends that were just completely insane. No evidence. Like, it was just mad weekends, no evidence at all. Whereas now everyone's got a phone, so if you act out, it's probably likely you're going to be on social media. But obviously the benefits of that is when you're with your mates, you can quickly take, if they're doing something stupid, you can take a little snap and you can hold them to ransom.
Yeah. Who do you reckon would be some of the top blokes of all time, I guess celebrity wise, that you would think back and say they'd be like, oh, I'm glad there was not phones around in my time?
Oh, Dennis Rodman, man! Like, imagine the things that he would have got up to just in public and just could not have got away with it. Charlie Sheen would be another one.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, I reckon that would be insane. Donald Trump. Yeah, he's still doing it now.
Yeah,
with cameras everywhere.
Exactly.
So,
and he's the one posting it.
Yeah, exactly, on his Twitter account.
I reckon Warney would have been one of those big ones as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now imagine the Australian cricket team back when they were just dominating the world, just some of the things they would have got. They were superstars. Like it was like there was no one that touched them in our country anyway. And then they go to India, and it's like one of the biggest populations in the world, and they're rock stars. It's insane. Anyway, Sam, you had something interesting happening on the weekend, so which has begged me to sort of ask. Does Sam have a face that you want to punch? So what happened, mate?
Oh, not much, but just the typical male testosterone on a night out sometimes can be raging very high. Me, I'm a very laid-back person, as most people know, and I'm always having a good time. But other people seem to have high testosterone rates and just the need to release it, I guess. I don't know.
So take us on just like a little audio journey of what happened here, Sammy.
Well, I was talking to someone, and someone tried to be up in the business.
Yep.
And then I said, "Do you know any of these people?"
Mm.
And then he said, "No." So then I said, "So why is it a problem to you?"
Yep.
And then I kind of left it at that because I was like, "That's enough for me."
Well, I'm proud of you for doing that. My question in the end, so obviously it's a joke. No one wants to hit Sam. He's beautiful. But what do you think? Like, say you're out in public, and it is a thing that young males have to deal with regularly, particularly if you're highly sociable, so you're active and you're out, and people notice you when you're out, or if you're an attractive guy. So the Sean Turn must get this all the time. But people tend in environments where there's obviously alcohol involved. What do you think forces people to act like a little aggressive towards random strangers? Like this guy didn't know you at all. Hey, Seth?
No.
So what do you guys reckon? Like for me, I just think it's an interesting topic for people to talk, because I know I've been out in public before and had people come up to me that I didn't know for no reason at all, just wanting to start something.
Yeah, I reckon it just comes down to a lot of people have just got that, whether it's a gene in you or whatever it is, but once you start drinking, it just brings out that aggressiveness. I mean, other people, if you get close to me, I'm probably going to hug you and kiss you, but some people go the other way. So, yeah, I think it's probably got more to do with that, because I mean, you probably come across a few guys that are like that just regularly, but majority of those guys are going to do that on a Saturday night. They're not going to be like that off the drink.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a jab here and assume that maybe this bloke was trying to talk to the same people Sam was trying to talk to, and maybe his night wasn't going so well, so he was kind of having a night where he's striking out, and then being drunk, just his emotions get amplified, and then he decides to just take out his anger on someone else. That's kind of what I was thinking with that one.
Tall poppy syndrome?
Yeah.
Do they call that one?
Yeah, I think that's a real thing too, man. Like, tall poppy syndrome. I don't think it sort of relates to this particular situation. I would call it Sam.
You never know.
Syndrome?
Yeah, no, I think tall poppy syndrome is when, say you always go for the underdog. Like, so Aussies always go for the underdog.
Yeah.
So, say when Geelong were terrible, everyone liked Geelong. And then Geelong wins 3 premierships in 4 years, and then everyone hates Geelong because they're at the top of the pile.
Yeah,
so that's pretty much the concept there.
Yeah.
But I think maybe little man...
Maybe Sammy was walking around the club like he was...
peacocking.
He's spreading his wings. And
Get out there.
he's looking like the big dog. And he didn't like what he saw.
Well, what I've seen in public is when Sam decides to get on that dance floor, I'm telling you, there's not many better. So, and I heard that you own the dance floor on Saturday night. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, a couple Long Island iced teas, always get me in a good mood. So
yeah. All right. So there's 2 people in your life that we all love. All right. That's Tezza and Mooka. Yeah, we love them. We think they're fantastic people, and being your parents. And one of the best things about them is that they're allowing you, as a mid-20s person, to live under their roof and pretty much, develop your education and that, and not have to pay rent and things. I don't know if do you pay rent? No, so he doesn't pay any rent. So they're looking after your best interests, trying to help you develop as a man. Now, one of the other interesting things about your weekend is that you've been fortunate enough, and that's what you have a pod, bro. These things are gonna come out.
We talk about these things.
That's it. So you've been lucky enough to get some female company. and she's asked, do you live with your parents? So Sam's getting up now and moving. Anyway, so my question is,
Thanks, Tez. Thanks, Mooka.
When you live with your parents, does that make it harder when you do happen to pick up Sammy?
No, the greatest part is the initial lie, and then on the taxi on the way home.
Sam, we've got like a listenership of 12, man. I don't think you have to worry about it. Yeah. So, and he's gone. He's gone. All right, so we're going to answer it for you.
Yeah.
Sean, too, what are your thoughts on this subject about being young, staying at home because it's the right thing for you at that point in time, and trying to build relationships, I guess?
Oh, so 100% support it. Like, a lot of people tend to rush out and move out of home as quickly as they can. So if you are lucky enough to have parents that are willing to support you and help you further your education without putting the stress of having to pay rent and stuff like that, then that's obviously big positive.
Yeah.
Even my parents helped me with that for quite a while before I moved out. So that was awesome. Kudos to them. Thanks, Paddy, and thanks, Chris.
So you don't live at home?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to get out for this reason, actually. Because when you do like bring home a girl or want to bring home a girl, even just to hang out, it kind of feels a little bit awkward because, I don't know, I always felt like I'm kind of being watched in that a little bit. So I prefer just to have my own personal private space. So me being able to move out and have my own area without people wondering what I'm doing is a big plus for me.
Yeah.
Even on the first couple of dates, if you just want to cook dinner or something,
Exactly.
And then if you want to do it at home,
like
then it's also meet the parents.
Exactly.
It's a little step and a big step.
It's
at the
too
same
soon.
time.
It's too soon. Yeah.
Well, I reckon. I honestly think that you could get your mum to cook, and then you tell them to leave, and then it makes it look like you made this amazing home cooked meal. I think that's a win, right there.
Sam, thoughts?
He's pretty much got up and left. So, the one other thing as well, I think that's really, really important to note, though, is that it allows you some financial freedom to set yourself up. Because I moved out of home at 16, so finished high school. I was a late birthday, so pretty much as soon as I finished 16, I left home and financially had to pay rent. Had to sort out my own food, had to pay for my own fuel. I had to do my own licensing, all of that sort of stuff that grown-ups have to do as a 16-year-old. And I feel like that's probably negatively impacted my financial position from an early age. Mm-hmm. So I think if a parent can nurture you for a little bit longer, give you a place to live and not charge you, and you're responsible like Sam is, and you save and you put money aside so you can set yourself up, you're set up so much better for the future than someone, say, that gets out too early. Mm-hmm. So for me, like, you look back and you're like, well, if I did it slightly differently, would I be in a different position now? And I feel like, having parents that can help you and guide you in that is probably more a good thing than a negative thing, anyway. And if you're in a situation where you're starting to see someone, and you're not paying rent, you've got money to sort of get a hotel or do other things anyway if you want to spend some personal time with someone, I feel. Or my advice to all young men, particularly, is never take them back to your house anyway, because then they know where you live. So, try and avoid that if you can.
Great advice.
Yeah. Particularly the first time. So, yeah. But I just say again, Sam, a little bit annoyed with me right now. But I think there's the positives outweigh the negatives. If you're using it in the right way, to set yourself up. So
I definitely wish that at the age of 30, I'd had the same knowledge and even just desire to want to know about finances, money, and everything goes along with it, and more of thinking towards the future through my 20s. Once I got to 30, I was like, oh man, wish I'd had the same mindset when I was a bit younger. Yeah. Definitely being the same thing, being out of home early, going to college, and never really kind of dawned on me until later. So that early guidance would be awesome. Yeah,
definitely. So I think for one negative where you might have to say to a girl, I live with my parents, there's so much more benefits.
Definitely.
In my opinion. So it's not something I'd ever be embarrassed about or anything. I'd be like, I'm setting myself up. Yeah. Sam doesn't want to contribute to that one, so we're going to move on. Sam, do you drink red wine?
Sometimes, every once in a while.
The reason we're obviously talking about red wine tonight is because Chris, our superstar guest, has brought in a bottle. Now, there's always conversations about, particularly now, about is red wine in Western Australia as good as, say, Victoria or South Australia?
It's the Barossa wine.
Barossa wine is the go.
And you know why I brought it in too is because I'm a big Joe Rogan fan, so every time someone goes on his show, they take some sort of gift in. I was like, what am I going to take for a gift tonight? I thought this is the last time I'm going to see these boys before I head back to Adelaide, to the Barossa wine country. So I thought, what a good way to have a bit of a send-off here. Enjoy some of Barossa's best drops.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it is fantastic. If you drink red wine, you usually drink either Shiraz or a Merlot. Like, they're probably the two sort of extremes. And obviously there's different blends, but if you had to pick between a Merlot and a Shiraz, what are you picking, Chris?
Probably gone the Shiraz.
Shiraz?
Yeah.
What about you, Sean, too?
I'm a Merlot guy.
Merlot guy.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sam?
I don't know. My knowledge isn't that deep. I'm a whatever the guest has brought in is what I'm going to enjoy.
All right, so I'm definitely a Shiraz guy as well. I think as you get older, you start to sort of appreciate the harsher sort of taste of a Shiraz.
Yeah, that's why I'm probably not Shiraz. My experience with wines is a little bit lesser, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
This is beautiful, this stuff right here. This is probably the best red wine I've tasted, to be honest.
Awesome, man. Glad I could do that for you.
Yes, killing it.
You set the bar high now, though.
Yeah.
That's it, he has. Yeah. I want someone to bring in Rocky Road.
You need to get in for that Diane Ironmonger. Donna Ironmonger, she's makes the best Rocky Road I've ever come across.
Oh, really?
Instead of the cherries, she cuts up Alan snakes, sticks them in there.
Oh, great touch.
Unreal.
Yeah, no, that sounds insane.
Yeah.
I said Rocky Road because we had a work function the other day and like a morning tea. That's probably the best thing about education. You have morning
The
teas.
morning teas every week are phenomenal.
So you have morning tea. And someone made some homemade Rocky Road and it was just, phenomenal. So yeah, I'm on that Rocky Road train at the moment. And who doesn't like marshmallow?
I'm actually not the biggest fan of a marshmallow. I'm going to put it out there.
Really?
Yeah. I'll eat them if they're there, but I'm not really like, I'd never buy a bag of marshmallows.
I don't think they're great by themselves. They've either got to be cooked on the campfire or mixed in with something else, but just a room temperature marshmallow, it's not my favourite.
Yeah, campfire marshmallow is a whole different ball game, isn't it?
Oh, it is, yeah.
Or s'mores.
Yeah, see,
S'mores is a bit too much, though.
Yeah, that's an American thing. Isn't it covered in something, or is it just a big marshmallow?
It's got like the graham crackers and the Hershey's, and then you melt it all together with the marshmallow.
Comes like a sandwich.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that actually sounds really good.
It's not. I like it. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many? You couldn't have many of them, though. It sounds quite...
No, I think I used to have like maybe 3.
Okay.
That's probably a bit too much.
Can't really have many. I had 3. I had 3. Yeah.
They're not small either. They're
No.
good size.
They're quite hefty. Yep.
All right, so thank you for the wine. Really appreciate it.
problem,
I think that's something we should partake in a little bit more regularly. I've got a bit of an issue at the moment, and I haven't spoken about it on the pod because I'm like, you know what, it's going to get fixed. But it's 3 weeks now, and pretty much the story is the council's done some work on my street, so they've been recurbing. My driveway is paved, so what they've had to do is rip up the front of the driveway to put the new curbing in. And they've gone down the whole street. Now, they ripped up my driveway and they haven't replaced the pavers. So there's a big gap between where the driveway sort of starts, or where the concrete finishes and where the pavers start. And it's not something you can drive over. If someone drives over that, it's going to create more damage, or it's going to damage the car as you go through. So we've made a couple of phone calls and we still don't know what's going on after 3 weeks. Do you think it's acceptable for a council to rip up your driveway and then just leave it demolished for 3 weeks?
No, I was actually I was thinking about today driving here. I was like, you know what, I reckon I'll be able to drive up the driveway today. And then when I got here, I was like, damn, they really still haven't done it yet. Well, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's frustrating. And we're driving over the grass now, and the damage that it's doing to the grass and just how uneven the lawn's becoming is is a little bit pissed off. So, what are you guys' thoughts on this? If you have you experienced any other sort of issues where someone's half done a job and they've just left it? I think that's probably a good story.
Oh, not really, but I do have a mate that's a city planner for the council, and I do know that the pace at which things move along, like people put in an application for something or other, and he'll wait. And someone did this to me the other day, and it gave me the absolute swearing in.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, gave me the shits. But I put an application in trying to find out whether a business could go somewhere, and anyway, they leave it all week until Friday at 4:30. They finally reply to me, and the only reason I knew this is because my mate tells me he does it. He's like, I can't be bothered working with this application, so what I have to do is I wait till 4:30, and then I send out an email saying I need something extra information. So then he's like, then it's been actioned, and now I don't have to do it till next week. And that's what these people did to me. They stooged me. They waited till Friday afternoon. They sent me a message saying, oh, we need a bit extra information. You could have seen it on Google Maps. It would have been hard to look. I just went and screenshot it and sent it straight back to them. Nothing till next week. That's the rate at which the council works.
Tactical, very tactical.
So if you call them, expect a call 4:30 Friday. How many bricks were there? Oh, sorry. Hang up.
That's a next week problem.
Yeah.
4:29 and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
30-second phone call right on 4:30. Bang.
Yep. Done.
Wow.
Actioned. See you next week.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Sam, you had any experiences?
No. Actually, I'm pretty sure our shed, when we were building the shed, had a bit of problems. I think because it was an eyesore.
Yeah.
For the road.
Okay, yeah.
Which, that shed's beautiful.
It is.
And the times that it's had.
It's probably the greatest shed in Perth.
Yeah.
I'll still give it that, man, over mine at the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we had a bit of, it took a while to get that all approved and whatnot.
I think getting anything approved through councils, you have to jump through hoops, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's just...
When has anyone ever said to you, oh, I had the greatest experience with the council this week, they were lovely, they were on time, you know it happens.
Never. Actually, Chris, I'm glad you asked.
Hey, here we go.
No, I got nothing. I'm messing.
Anyway, I'm a little frustrated about that, but, you can't have everything, can you? So, Sammy.
So as everyone knows, we had a lovely guest last week. That was an aeronautical engineer, and I do the typing for when I type up the little
spiel.
Yeah, for our Spotify and whatever else it goes on to, and it came up to the thing that I had to spell aeroplane or airplane, and I had a little bit of a dilemma in my head, and then I googled it, and I've come to a conclusion on how you're supposed to spell it, but it'd be interesting to see what everyone's thoughts are here, since we're all highly intelligent.
I might go last on this one.
Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind is the aeroplane jelly commercial. So for me, I was a little kid. I love aeroplane jelly. Aeroplane jelly's for me. I'd love to sing it. A horrible voice. Nixie, you got a voice.
I like it for tea. Aeroplane jelly for a good recipe.
Something like
Yeah, so so that's always been aeroplane for me.
You should learn that on the uke.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
I should.
You won't put that as one of your next YouTube songs.
All right. So I've only done originals at this point, but yeah, might as well. Yeah.
I want to say it should be aero, as in like AERO, but for some reason I feel like I've been spelling it air, like airplane.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
It
I
is
feel
spelled
like
airplane.
I've been playing. I don't know. Like I'm not sure which one's correct, to be honest. I feel
Can
like
you spell it both ways? Did you say that?
Yeah. So
I don't know.
it's,
I think Sam's gonna get into that, but I think I spell it airplane, but I feel like it's meant to be aeroplane.
yeah. I call them aircraft. Yep. So
Fancy.
So aircraft. So like when we're talking about equipment in the air, so when you're working for an airline, the aircraft. But I guess people call them planes. Like you just say, I'm getting on the plane. Because when Sam brought it in, I'm like, I don't really say airplane or aeroplane. I say plane. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know
So
what you mean.
yeah. So if I'm interested, I reckon I'm going to go with, just for this particular question, like aeroplane, AERO plane.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
you're aeroplane.
Yeah,
I've heard people say to me, I'm getting on the airplane. I think that sounds weird. Why you say it like that?
Yeah.
It just sounds weird.
See, I think this is where I get, because I'm pretty sure I say airplane. I'm getting on the
It's a
airplane.
bit weird.
Um,
Weirdo.
But anyway, so I googled it and whatnot, and I think I've come to the conclusion because it's all a bit muddled and whatnot, but I think airplane is like the American way of doing it.
Ah, yes.
That explains a lot.
And then aeroplane is like the UK
European,
thing. So it's a bit of a toss and turn, but aeroplane, I think, is the correct spelling for us.
Okay, all right. So we're going with aeroplane. Let's throw it out there. What do people say? Like, is it airplane or aeroplane? Let's do a poll. Sean turn.
Okay.
Airplane versus aeroplane, and see what comes in. And then from this point on, for the rest of my life, I am going to refer to it as whatever one
Wins.
Yeah, that's it. Airplane or aeroplane. Yeah, it reminds me of that movie though, because that movie, it's a famous movie called Airplane, and it's American.
Yeah, and it's spelled
airplane, like airplane.
Like the same dude from, is it Naked Gun and stuff?
Yeah. And it's spelled A-I-R plane. Yeah. So not aeroplane. Yeah. And then you always think of the new Snoop Dogg one. Was it Sky High?
Oh, Sky.
Yeah. Anyway. Were the Wright brothers Irish?
Were they?
I don't know.
You're the historical genius over here bringing up claims to fame.
Yeah. So anyway, the Wright brothers may or may not have been Irish, but we like Irish.
Yeah, well, just from experience,
Yeah.
See,
Okay.
they seem to be all right. They seem to be an all right bunch of people.
When you came in and you started talking about your experience with this Irish person, you just can't help but smile.
Yeah.
And I think this is a good news story. You know, there's not enough good news in the
Yeah,
world.
we do bring that up quite often.
Yeah. This is a good news story. So I'd love for you to share your experiences with the world.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was at work, as what I do, a bit of support stuff, and we were having a drink after a lovely game of tennis. And we were down at Iron Fit, and this dude obviously started talking to this bunch of girls there they must all go to the gym, community aspect, all that stuff. And then after 20 minutes or whatever, we weren't part of this conversation or anything like that. But then he said goodbye to the people, and then as he walked past our table, he's like, "See you later, lads," and then continued on to say goodbye to another few people, and then was on his way. But it was just it was pretty nice thing, it's not something that's out of the way, but not many people just say goodbye when they haven't spoken to you.
Yeah, I think people are so concerned about what other people are going to do if you talk to them. And we've spoken about this before, just saying hi to people or smiling to someone makes the world a difference. And I think saying see you later, lads, is actually pretty cool. What do you reckon, Chris?
Yeah, well, I just think about even sometimes when you're having a conversation with someone and then you might be happy, laughing, smiling, and by having that expression or feeling as you turn and you walk and you lock eyes with somebody who wasn't a part of that conversation, and then all of a sudden, hey, g'day, mate. You just keep walking. It's I don't know why I said that, but I was just in the kind of mood to say hi to someone as I walk past. But yeah, maybe he was so happy from that conversation with the group of ladies that he locked eyes with you and just said, "Oh, g'day, mate. See you, mate."
See you, lads.
Yeah, what's your best Irish accent?
Yeah, I guess we have to think of something Irish to say. Sean, something Irish to say.
He said, "See you later, lads."
Oh.
So you got to say an Irish accent.
All right. See you later, lads. No, that's not very good.
Nah.
Chris?
All right, see you later, lads.
See you later, lads.
Sure.
Hey, see you later, lads.
Yeah, it's not bad.
All right. Sorry?
See you later, lads.
Hey,
There you go.
that's pretty good.
Well, I had
I probably
practice.
should be better.
He said it to me. So.
Yeah. All right, see you later, lads. Anyway,
It happens part of the country versus living in the city kind of thing, or being on holiday as well. You go on a holiday, everyone's saying hi to each other. Oh, man, this place not so nice. Everyone's great. Then as soon as you step back into the city, just walk past, head down, don't say hi to anybody.
Yeah. I agree. I make it a habit to say hi to people as I walk past them.
Hi, Nixie.
Yeah, I do. I nod my head. I say, "Hi, how are you?" Yeah. I've even said to random people, "Hope you're having a good day."
That's a nice one.
Yeah. Hey, hope you're having a good day. As you walk past. Yeah. But I think if someone looks at you, I think you're forced to say something. I think if you lock eyes, it becomes super awkward if you.
You got to say something.
Yeah. Like,
Here's a challenge for you listeners. If anybody locks eyes with anybody this week, don't look down and walk away. Say g'day, say see you later, have a great day.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Let's start spreading happiness in this world.
Yeah.
I think that's the go. This doesn't happen often, Sam.
What doesn't happen often?
Terry gives us things to talk about.
Yeah. Dark beer versus light beer and beer prices.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? I know they've given you a little background information, but from that information, what do you reckon it's about?
Well, if I heard dark beer versus light beer, I would automatically be thinking about taste and viscosity. That's what I'd be thinking about.
That's a good word.
Oh, Chris.
We do love it. We do love that word.
Yeah. Chris, what do you think? Like, if someone said, "Oh, what's dark beer versus light beer?"
Just in my mind, just goes to easy drinking versus having a sip for a good taste. Not that all beer doesn't taste great, but I just think light beer to me is like I could drink 12 of those.
I disagree. I love beer. I think I'm like everyone here knows I love beer. I don't think all beer tastes great though. I think there's some beers that are just like, oh, man, I can't drink it, even if it's like a really hot day.
I'm with you on that. Well, as you know, I'm not very much of a beer drinker, so there's definitely a few beers that I'm like, I can't even drink this kind of.
Yeah. I'm struggling to think of one, but I know that there's a beer I've had before. I was like the real light beers that are watery. Don't really like. What's the point of drinking those?
Natural light.
Yeah, it's the old college $12 for a 30-pack natty light. Might have been less than that.
It was beautiful though, wasn't it?
But the price was beautiful.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. No,
I think light beer is what I would drink, kind of like Chris said, if I'm drinking multiple or a lot. But I would only ever finish with a dark beer. So like if I'm out to dinner and I'm at a bar with like some friends or whatever, like I might have a few pints of light beer. And then if I go, all right, I'm only having one more, then I can finish with a dark beer, like a Guinness or something.
Oh, really? I'm the opposite. I'll start with a dark beer because it's like a meal. It's a little thicker. And it's just like more full of flavour usually, and then I'll shift on to a lighter beer. But I'm a 150 lashes drinker, which for a lighter beer is pretty full flavoured anyway.
Yeah.
So a lot of my mates will have 2 or 3 of those and go, "Oh, that's enough." Whereas I'll knock back 24.
Absolutely.
So anyway, we sort of, what was it about, Sammy?
Well, see, I thought when he said it, so I asked him, I said, "Oh, is it about like the alcohol percentage? You know, like dark beers versus light beers?" And he goes, "Nah. Why are dark beers more expensive than light beers?" And then, sorry for calling you out, but first thing I searched on, he said, I think it was Cooper's dark ale or something like that. And I searched it, and I was like, the dark beer is cheaper than like the other beer. And then that was the end of that. But and he asked where it was, but yeah. So I don't know if there's much conversation there because I pretty much debunked the myth in 0.5 of a second. But
well, I think like if you're looking at it, Guinness is expensive.
Yeah, I think that like the stouts, but they're probably a bit more like full. Yeah.
And I think Guinness for its name, obviously there's branding, so you're paying for branding, I guess. And Kilkenny, like, he obviously isn't as dark as a Guinness, but that's quite expensive as well. It might even be as expensive.
I think it is.
Yeah, as what Guinness is, but but Guinness is one of those ones that I'll have, say, 2 Guinness, maybe max 3 pints. Like, no, that's enough now. I couldn't have any more than that. Yeah, it's like having soup. Yeah, it's not. I like it. Like, I really enjoy it. But again, most stouts aren't as fizzy, so you're not getting that, I guess, the traditional Australian beer experience because you haven't got the same fizz. It's quite milky, I guess.
So I'm going to throw this back to the Irish on that one.
Yeah.
So a few of my good mates are actually from Ireland and live in Wexford, Ireland. So Mikey and Luke, if you're listening, shout out to you guys. So they'll go out and they will actually drink like 14 pints of Guinness, and that's what they drink and have a good time off. How impressive is that when how thick Guinness is? I don't know how they do it, but like the Irish just seem to be able to do that somehow. That's pretty crazy to me.
Yeah, but they come out here, they have 2 red cans and they're on there. So I guess
Yeah,
what you
crazy.
grow up drinking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know what it is, but when I was in America, Budweiser, when I come over here, West End, which is the South Australian beer in the red can, and then the Bush Chooks, every single one of them, I don't know if this is just a red can thing, but if I like drinking them, but I just have a whopping headache after drinking any one of those 3 beers, all red cans.
Yeah.
It's the can.
It's got to be the red.
Yeah.
Red cans versus other cans.
Yeah.
What kind of toxins are those cans producing?
It's got to be something in that red.
All right, so we obviously we've gone the Radelaide 2 weeks in a row. Is it 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
Two.
Two weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks in a row. So Radelaide. All right, if we had 3 days in Radelaide, what do we do?
We've got to go to the Barossa Valley. That's a huge highlight. There's so many wineries and just beautiful countryside out there. So just great to hire a car, jump on a bus, do a tour of that. There's a place called Harndorf up in the hills. It's really unique. It's all this old stone buildings, and it's known as a German town.
Yep.
And just German restaurants and unique that it's such a German-based kind of attraction there, but it's a whole town that's set like that.
Awesome.
And then the last one, there's a
Crazy Horse. Say it.
No, it is across the road from the Crazy Horse. Though. It's the only place in Adelaide or one of the very few that's open past 3 a.m. So you always make the mad rush there at 2:30. But the Woolshed, it's got a bull in there that you can ride. So many rooms, but it's if there was a heart and soul of nightclubs in Adelaide, that is it. And I feel like you haven't been out until you've been to the Woolshed.
Really? I've never been to the. I've been to Adelaide a couple of times. Never been to the Woolshed.
Yeah, it's something you got to experience.
All right. If something happens in the near future that could possibly end up in Adelaide, my last night in Adelaide will be the Woolshed. I'm telling you.
I'll see you there.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be into that. So,
Had us at the bull.
yeah, I don't know if I'd end up breaking a patella or something if I jumped on the pool. Yeah, so, but I'll definitely watch you on there, Chris. I'll enjoy that.
Oh, the way the basketball career is going, that'll be a season ender for me. Jump on that thing. I'm gonna need a stretch for 15 minutes, and then you're gonna need a warm up, and
Get a roller out.
Roller.
You mentioned Nikita before. Congratulations on your recent engagement.
Yeah, thank you.
She works for Coke.
She does.
Yeah. So we won't say anything bad about Coke at all. But Sam's brought another interesting topic today. I feel, and I've got a question that leads into that. So we're talking about what we talk about, Sam.
Well, yeah, I was writing down topic ideas because I was like, probably need to add another one, and just popped into my mind. Coke versus Coke Zero versus Diet Coke versus all the other stuff that they do.
So I'm pretty much, if I'm drinking Coke, I pretty much say I want Coke full strength. Yeah. So we go to the pub, get a bit. I want the full strength Coke. What's the point of drinking? I just think, what's the point of drinking it unless you're gonna drink not the original, because the original had elements in it that you're not allowed to have anymore. But I think I like Coke, just normal Coke as it is. And if you're having a soft drink and you're worried about the sugar level, you probably shouldn't be having soft drink. So anyway, so can you give us more insight as to what are your thoughts behind all of this?
I've actually asked this question before, and it's when they went from Coke Zero to Coke No Sugar, and I was like, what's the change there? It's you just, instead of having no sugar, you've got zero sugar and no sugar. I mean, it's all the same thing, right? And I think he said to me, no, well, the Coke No Sugar is supposed to be the same way as it's supposed to taste more like the original Coke than the Coke Zero. And I thought, yeah, works in marketing. Yeah. And but it hasn't spread across the whole world. So there's different elements of Coca-Cola that, like, I think in Europe it's still Coke Zero, and now then they talk about whether they're going to change it back or change it across the board, and it doesn't make any sense to me. I work with somebody that works there. It still doesn't make sense.
I actually think they'd make more money off water and like Powerade, because Coke owned Powerade, than they would off of the old Coke products now. I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel like I see so many more people just buying bottled water than ever before, and I'd imagine that the profit margin on bottled water is more than would it be on Coke.
I think Nikki made a good point to me that a lot of people then people are creatures of habit. So if someone's been drinking Diet Coke their whole life, they keep drinking Diet Coke and they don't want to change. It's the same thing with all the products. Is that like once they get on one product, there's so many people out there that say, I've always drank this, so I'm going to keep drinking it. So that seems to be a big reason why things hang around.
Yeah.
I'm a normal Coke person. Normal Coke or vanilla Coke. I like vanilla Coke.
Yeah, I never got
It's
on
too
that.
sweet.
I like vanilla, and I like Coke, but the combination for me, it is quite sweet. It never really did it for me, but I think vanilla Coke with maybe like a
Vodka goes well.
yeah, or a Kahlua or something in there.
Or a vanilla vodka with regular Coke.
Nah, but see, that's where you go the vanilla Coke, and then you just get the normal vodka. Better mix, trust me.
So that sort of got me thinking, when you asked that question, what I ended up writing down is what's too much? So you've got Coke, you've got Coke Zero, you've got Coke No Sugar. Like, when does a product become too much? If you know what I mean? And we can think about a few different things here. So if we think about maybe movies, like franchise, like when does a franchise become too much? Like the first thing that pops in my head is Fast and the Furious. Like, when does it get to a point where it's like a dead horse?
Yeah, but once you bring Dwayne Johnson in, mate, it's run it forever.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I'm waiting for the next 15 Jumanji movies to come out because
That'll never end now.
When I saw The Rock single-handedly pull down the helicopter with a chain off one arm in Hobbs and Shaw, I was like, yeah, that could definitely happen. I was hooked.
Yeah. But yeah, so when does it become too much?
Classic.
Yeah. And I guess, like, if they're selling the product, they're gonna keep making the product. So I guess for us, like, when does it become too much?
Maybe some people are asking that question about this podcast.
Yeah, maybe.
But obviously, I think it's if they're selling it, and a company that big obviously probably has the money to be able to try different things out and whatnot. That's like Fanta. How many different flavors does Fanta have? And when you travel the world, like there's like another 55 of them.
Yeah.
So,
but that's Coke as well, isn't it?
Is it?
Fanta, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is there's the people who don't like change, but then there's people like me who every single time a new flavour of chips comes out or a new flavour of drink, I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds great, and you taste it, and every time I wish I hadn't eaten that or drank that. But then they'll bring another flavour out, and I'll be right back again. Oh, that sounds great. Nah, it still wasn't good. So that's why they all come and go so quickly. I reckon they were, we'll chuck this out for a couple of weeks for all the dickheads that are going to go ahead and try this again, and then we'll just take it back off because we know it's crap. So,
did you try the Lamington chips?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I'm not a fan.
How did I miss that one?
I tried them as well, and I was like, man, these actually taste like Lamington with like a chip inside.
Oh,
no. It wasn't good. Yeah, it wasn't good at all. But they sold it, like, the amount of Christmas, because I think it was last Christmas they brought them out. The amount of Christmas parties I went to with Lamington chips, I was like, oh my lord. Yeah. So,
Do you know what's quality right now? The spicy buffalo Doritos. I'm really enjoying them. I've had them a couple times.
Yeah, all right. I haven't tried
Spicy
those.
buffalo.
Spicy like buffalo Doritos. They're very good.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to the salsas on the weekend because you've tried them on the weekend. You spoke about them last week, so just a bit.
Spoken about them, tested them.
Yep.
Successful. Sean Turn had a few as well. I think it's probably a similar opinion to mine that they're quite handy for a 4-pack for $10.
I'm actually surprised that you tried them, Sean, too, because you were so anti-Aldi last week. It was like, I'm not going to yet, but you tried them and you're happy?
I'm surprised you're still on the podcast after saying that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Sensitive spot.
The passion fruit ginger one, I was vibing with a lot. It was quite tasty. Like 4-pack for $10, and it tasted that good. I was impressed.
That's an interesting combination.
It tasted basically like a slightly fruity ginger beer.
Yeah, it's like a light ginger beer.
Oh, that sounds good.
Actually,
I love ginger beer at the moment. Yeah. We pod 33 or 34?
34, I think.
34.
I think, yeah.
Right. So that leads me to the question: Shaq at LA because he was 34, or an alternative Shaq somewhere else?
It's got to be young Orlando Shaq when
32?
he could just run, just get the rebound, and then just coast to coast.
So 32 Shaq over 34 Shaq.
Yeah, probably. Well, history probably says that the Lakers Shaq, isn't it?
Well, he won more at the
Yeah,
Lakers, but
but-
was he better at Orlando when he was taking the team? What do you think, Chris?
Nah, I think he's more dominant at the Lakers, but I did enjoy seeing Boston and Phoenix Shaq. I particularly remember Shaq just trying to prove himself with Boston that he was all in, just diving on a ball into the crowd.
Yeah, I did say that.
Loved it.
Killed someone.
That's it, yeah. Ended up with 15 people because he's so big in hospital. Yeah, so I thought that was an interesting question. We're there, Sammy?
Yeah, another one done. Thank you very much, Chris. I hope you had a good time on the pod.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for inviting me, guys.
Thanks for coming.
And
Looking forward to
future
getting
guests,
that.
remember to bring a gift.
That's it?
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure now.
I'm certain that Sam's going to get me back at some point. I do want to say that as well for today's topics, but I think we hit that on the head in the end. So.
Yeah. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Sure.